The movie opens up in Crete 1260 BC. A guard alerts his partner about incoming ships, and it turns out to be invaders from another country. The people panic about the incoming raiders and try to escape. The whole city is thrown into chaos as the men charge in to destroy and kill. One man stands up to fight for his people, taking on all the soldiers, telling them they will find no bounty here. Just then their leader arrives and everybody bows. The man is enraged and charges at him, but he is easily defeated. The invaders then barges into the palace. The citizens are captured and taken hostage by the Lion's Kingdom. They are then met by a guard who asks them to eat, but a man stands up and tells them it's a trap. The man is then taken to the room to be branded. The guard then takes a woman. She is thrown into the room and is then met by another guard. He tells her their king is her only hope, but she disagrees. 6 weeks earlier in Wakanda Kingdom, before the raid, we see Noni brought to a woman named Akia. Noni is confused to be here after her expulsion. She then asks Akia why she is here. Akia tells her about the disappearance of a general named Nkati, a respected royal guard, how he stole weapons and fled. She tells her the threat he poses with that amount of weapons and why she was chosen for the mission. The scene then shifts back to Noni beating some guards. She asks one for the whereabouts of Nkati, but he doesn't talk. She knocks him out and heads outside while sneaking past the guards. The scene changes to a woman crying to go home. She is brutally beaten and is about to be killed, but Noni quickly swoops in and fights the guard. The other guards are alerted and Noni makes a run for it. Meanwhile, the king hears the commotion and goes to check it. He uses a spyglass and sees Noni fighting. A guy attacks Noni and overpowers her. Another guard joins the fight. She tries to escape but gets pinned. She quickly uses an arrow to break free and causes the guard to kill her partner. Meanwhile, the king opens an arsenal of weapons and prepare to fight. Noni is surrounded and makes a final escape into the water. She sees multiple skeletons and finally surfaces. She figures out the king chamber would be on top, but suddenly gets attacked. She ends the guard quickly and makes it to the ship. Nkati urges her to come up, and she calls him by his name. This pisses him off, and he tells her he isn't returning to Wakanda. He says his presence is needed in the new world, and he reveals he was sent here by Akia. This shocks Noni, and he tells her she isn't worthy of learning the many secrets of Wakanda. She follows Nkati, and he says he was once like her, begging for scraps of their validation. He tries to convince Noni, telling her about the War Dogs, a secret network of spies. He wants her to leave the path Wakanda has set for her and make her join him here. She disagrees with him, saying if there was really freedom here, there wouldn't be chains. She calls him delusional and prepares to take him in. A battle ensues and Noni is almost thrown out. She continues to battle him, but gets kicked away. The battle gets intense, and Nkati blasts her with a staff. She manages to escape and breaks his armor. She goes defensive without her weapon. She gets a hit on him and breaks his staff. She uses it against him, but this triggers an explosion. Noni survives, but Nkati is weakened. He uses a last-ditch attack and self-destructs the place. She survives by jumping into the water. The scene then shifts to the palace where Noni feels she failed the mission, but Akia tells her otherwise. Akia gives her former position back to her, but Noni kindly declines. Akia then takes Noni for a walk where Noni realized that her mission was a test. She vows to recover all the weapons that was stolen from them, bringing episode 1 to an end. Episode 2 kicks off in an unknown place, where we see guards pushing a cart. Another guard on standby sees this and deploys archers, starting the war. We are then introduced to a character named Achililous. He infiltrates the Trojan wall and is met by an obstacle. Achililous runs ahead, but the others stay behind to keep watch. The Trojan spots them, but Achililous comes in clutch to save them, and they engage in a fierce battle. Achililous and Memnon makes light work of the remaining guard. Meanwhile, the captain tells them to fall back, and Achililous is almost killed, but Memnon saves him. More Trojan reinforcement shows up, and they retreat. The scene then shifts to Memnon healing his wound. Afterwards, he heads back and meets with a frustrated Achililous. He tells Memnon how he feels bringing people to their death because of this war, but Memnon says they were fighting out of their own will. Achililous praises him for his devotion, and he thanks him for his presence. Suddenly, they are interrupted by Pharaoh and his goons. He then tries to convince Achililous, saying that Memnon is a Trojan spy, but Achililous disagrees and defends him, saying Memnon has saved every one of them during these 9 years. During his speech, Odysseus interrupts them, saying he has a plan on deceiving his enemy by giving them a supposed gift. After the discussion, Memnon secretly tells the people of Wakanda about his progress, and he is given a mission to return with an ancient artifact. The next day, they were shown building something, and Achililous is happy that the war would soon end. He goes on to give Memnon a gift given to him by his mother. The scene cut to the finished workpiece. We then see Achililous giving a final speech. The scene shifts to a horse being brought to the city. Later that night, the Romans make their move, killing guards quietly. They are spotted by a guard who informs the kingdom at a cost of his life. Achililous and the others make a run for it, but are surrounded. Achililous charges at them, and the battle begins. They get separate, and Memnon goes to the palace. He meets the king and queen and takes the ancient artifact. He tells them to go, but they are interrupted by Achililous. Achililous is enraged Memnon betrayed him. He is about to end Memnon, but Memnon reasons with him, saying he should allow him to go home. This enrages Achililous further, and he pushes Memnon. He attacks, but Memnon dodges. Achililous takes the item, and the fight begins with Memnon having the upper hand. The fight is more intense, and Achililous' sword is broken. He attacks Memnon and pins him down. Still struggling, Memnon carries a sword and slashes him. Memnon deals a fatal blow, and Achililous dies in his hand. He then takes the item and leaves. 6 months later in Wakanda, Memnon is meeting up with Noni, who appears to have aged a lot. She says that these missions have a way of leaving a mark on them. Memnon agrees, and they walk further. She talks about her first-time mission and says it's okay to let it out. Memnon seems pained, and he tells her he feels like a total stranger. He says she should send him back to the field. She agrees and asks him what he is searching for in life. He holds the jewelry Achililous gave him, and the episode comes to an end.